Perfect.
Might have to add attorneys under here. I love counties attorneys.
Oh, that's a good idea. There you go.
Morning, JJ.
Morning, JJ.
Good morning.
We feel this dog related, so slap me.
You could butter and find some. Yeah. You try to make that?
Yeah.
Are you okay with asking me every time? Or would you just still look at me?
Oh, no, I think it's right behind.
Yeah, yeah.
I will reach out to him.
Yeah, and
This
you
morning.
always know that it needs to be done, so I don't.
Something else cannabis
I
related.
just verify where we're gonna meet. But there's a corporate ventures building behind the casino.
Oh,
I've never seen it. I only know this.
okay, yeah.
You know, I'll just. Okay, sounds, thanks, Steph.
Hey, David, did I see something on for today for the I emailed you on for the Tyler Hennepin County, whether we're going
Yeah, there is nothing on the agenda
today?
for today.
Okay. How did I read that then? I think it was
There was a note in the Friday update.
just an update. Gotcha.
It's 10 o'clock. Thank you. So it's 10 o'clock. We will call the meeting to order. Just for the record, Steve Holland is joining us from Hines, Illinois today on technology. So we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should also add that Josh Moore is on his way here. He's going to be just a little bit late today. So we will start with public forum. Is there anybody who would like to speak for the public forum? Dale, did you want to speak for the public forum?
So like, no, we didn't go, we didn't go past.
Did you?
Yeah, I'll speak for a little, I was just reminded late last night.
Okay, that's okay. You can be unprepared for 3 minutes. Come on up.
Well, I was here, what, a month
Do
ago?
you want to say who you are and,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Dale Kirchberg, Dozy Township.
you're fine. I knew who you were.
But, at any rate, I was here, what, a month or so ago, talked, the parking lot, they want to do for the 360 and stuff way out in the ability.
Yep.
We're very against that for many reasons, like I said. And we have a number of petition sheets that are going around. We've got township advisors and board members
Involved and signing interested in this.
I guess that's how serious we are.
Can I help you with this for just a minute?
Pardon me?
Can I help you with this for just a minute? So it's going to be on the agenda later, but it's not going to actually be a parking lot anymore. What they're going to do is they're going to fix the boat landing and make it so that it's more accessible and then work on the road to widen the road to make that better so that it will be easier. So we're not looking at doing a parking lot at this point.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, the boat landing where and what road repair?
This the same place where they use, Matt, do you want to?
So-
that meeting?
So Terry, this is a different project that he's speaking about.
Oh.
This isn't the Crooked Lake project.
I was, sorry. Okay, keep,
Oh, yeah, we've seen a little bit of progress at Crooked when we came.
yeah, so keep talking. I was on the wrong lake. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm talking about the 360 in Lee Township, the bigger road. It's a half a mile before the
Trail. That 360 up in there.
Oh,
Greg Beck said that they're gonna put a parking lot up in there.
Okay,
And that's the one that we just don't want more neighbors and more blah, 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 blah.
yeah. Okay,
Is that still in the works?
that is still in,
Yeah.
yes.
Is there, you have a date?
It's on the agenda for a little bit and we'll be talking about it at that point.
Okay,
It's just to get people are parking on the road now.
where?
Oh, that's just what Greg is. Isn't,
We live out there. We don't see anybody living out there.
Anything in the roads.
It's just an invite for people to come there.
it's gonna be open and we're gonna make park the vehicles just up in that, inside the gate.
That's
Just
what I
somewhere.
understand.
I guess I'm curious then, what's really the situation? There's nobody parking on the road.
Yeah,
So the county actually thinks there's people parking on the road?
Yes,
Well, see, but they say there's not.
we live out there. We don't see it.
yeah.
We see ATVers go through there now and then, and of course the litter and everything else, and the deer stands that are illegal back there and everything else. We're just upset. Why? You know, why?
Thank you.
I'll be a little more prepared.
Come on up. Yep, you're fine. So you have 3 minutes and if you'd state your name and where you're from, that'd be great.
Scott Denholm, I live up on the Matthew Lowry Trail. And we have a lot of people going down the trail and the 360 he was talking about, there's nowhere to go. Would be just a parking lot, then they're gonna have to go out to the road anyways, you know? And I've had in the past, I've been up here almost 26 years, broke into, robbed. My house was, my cabins were burnt down. Who it was, we don't know, obviously, you know, but we're trying to keep people that shouldn't be there, and the people that want to be there, to be there. You know, because I have people come up to my driveway and I know them and stuff like that, and I said, you can unload right here, fine, it's not a problem, you know? But these is people that are hunters and stuff like that, and they're all good people. There are a few. It was right after deer hunting. I had people driving their trucks down, and from my place goes down in the bridge. Well, Beck knows it all about, you know, the bridges and everything. Bridge is out, and you got standing water, you got planks underneath there. They're driving their vehicles out, all the way out to where Doyle Road comes in.
Hello.
For what reason? You know?
You are needed at the nurse's station.
That to me?
I don't think so, no. Go ahead.
But I actually got into my truck and went out there and got them out of there. But there's been more times that I can count that I'm in my shop working, you know, because I'm not too far off the trail. And all of a sudden you see a guy in a truck go by. It's like, where do you people go? And why are you out there? And that's,
Are they on the Memorial Land?
they wouldn't, yes, they do, yeah, because I think that particular part stops within what? 2 or 3 miles up. Well, Doyle Road comes in and like that, and then, because I got some wood out of there a couple years back. So that's pretty much where it is, but,
Okay.
so the biggest thing is, I want to be picky, but the people, well, how do you want to say it nicely about bad people? You know, so, but that's all I got.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody else for public forum? I don't see anybody. Is there anybody online, Ryan? No. Okay, so we're gonna go to adopt the agenda. We do have some amendments and corrections.
Madam Chair, members of the board, if we could add consent agenda item number 8B, hiring of children's mental health social worker. And we have additional information for regular agenda item 2E, and that's a copy of the quitclaim deed.
I'll move as amended, Madam.
Thank you, Matt. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Steve?
Can you hear him?
Yes, we can. Thanks.
District 4, Commissioner Waldham. District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Steve, you're muted. You're muted, Steve.
Well, I keep taking myself off mute and then it goes back on mute. I'm sorry.
So Debbie,
Anyway,
Debbie's doing roll
yes.
call.
Yes.
Thank you. And District 3, Chair Lubgren.
Aye.
Thank you.
So we need to approve the minutes of June 18th and July 2nd. It was not in our packet last week, or last meeting when we approved them. So we have a motion to approve June 18th and July 2nd, the regular board agenda and the regular board minutes and the summary for statement. Summary for publication. God, I am really bad today, aren't I? Sorry, you guys, I just got home from a conference out.
I'll move that, Madam Chair.
Okay, so we got a motion by Steve and a second by Matt. Are there any questions on either one of those?
I have a question on the minutes. I don't know if it was transposed to these minutes. But I guess I can catch it at when the other minutes come up from land advisory, so.
Oh, it's not the actual board minutes?
No, but in these board minutes, is the land committee minutes in it?
I think you're talking about for this board meeting, we have land committee minutes.
Well, you said we had to approve two.
Right, it's from the last two board meetings, so these are the
Second.
board
June
packets.
18th and July 2nd.
Yep, I got it in front of me. Yeah, there was nothing in there on land committee, right?
No.
No, okay.
All right,
District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
District 3, Chair Lubgren.
aye.
District 4, Commissioner Waldham.
Yes.
Right, and then we are going to go on to the minutes of the boards, committees and correspondence. We've got the Outdoor Heritage Council notification letter and project list.
I'll move it.
Thanks, Matt.
I'll
Do we have a
second.
sec- Thanks, Steve. Got a motion by Matt, second by Steve. Are there any questions on that?
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
District 3, Chair Lubgren.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Waldham.
Yes.
District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then we're going to go on to approve the consent agenda. Is there any questions on the consent agenda? Matt, can we have a motion?
Madam,
Yep, go ahead, Steve.
I'd just like to point out those wonderful donations from the Lions Club for our
Yes.
K-9 units. That's pretty
Thank you.
awesome.
It is really, it is. Thank you for that. No, do you want to move it, Steve?
Yes.
Right. Motion by Steve, second by Matt. Are there any other questions or comments? All right,
District 3, Chair Lubgren.
aye.
District 4, Commissioner Waldham.
Yes.
District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
And we're going to go on to the personnel report.
I'll take that, Madam Chair.
Matt,
Do you want me to go through all and take action, or you want to go one by one?
does it need to be
They can be all together.
all together? Is fine. Thanks.
You all?
All together.
Okay. We had our meeting on July 6th, 2024, and we approved an additional property appraiser due to the increase in number of contracts, and approved the backfill for any subsequent vacancy that may occur due to internal promotion or lateral transfer.
Can I interrupt you on that? That is amazing that we have all 47 districts that we're doing the assessment for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all on now. Yep.
yes.
And sheriff's office and jail acknowledge the resignation of corrections officer Zachary Carter effective July 5th, 2024, and approve the backfill position that may occur due to internal promotion or lateral transfer. We acknowledge the resignation of correction officer Luke Carlson effective July 8th, 2024, and approve the backfill of that position and any subsequent vacancy that may occur due to internal promotion or lateral. And we approved the regrade of the jail administrative assistant position from a grade 5 to a grade 6, along with updating the accompanying job description. In probation, we acknowledge the retirement of probation administrative assistant Suzanne Thompson, effective June 28, 2024, and approve the backfill of that position and any subsequent vacancy that may occur due to internal promotion or lateral transfer. Recruitment of that position will begin in the fall of 2024. In administration, we approve the update of the Pine County Policy Section 17, which is electronic communications resource policy, to include section 17.18 and the AI services and security policy. The rest of stuff is information only. And with that, Madam Chair, I will move all.
Thanks, Matt. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Steve. Are there any questions on any of those items?
A question, Madam Chair.
Yep.
Couple probably, actually. Given a pay raise for the position of administrative assistant in jail. I guess I'm looking at the job description. What's marked out, omitted. But what part of what's omitted is reviews bookings, data accuracy, research data, and corrects errors prior to closing public roster. And we had a fatality January 2nd. And the booking wasn't complete at the time of his death. So to give pay raises, giving the pay raises is to help with the fatality and that not happening again, you know, or how does that tie together?
They're, Madam Chair,
Yes, please.
Commissioner Wilhelm, they're not related.
They're not really.
So Jackie can address the duties and why they might be changing. But the incident you referred to, the booking on that had nothing to do with the administrative staff. The person was arrested, brought to jail. They had a medical condition before they were actually booked into the jail. But those are not related.
Okay, before entering the jail, because you,
They were
in the-
arrested and brought to the jail. They were on premises.
They're an intake. They're not formally put in the jail. So they were in the intake portion. On that one year.
okay. So then on this administrative jail assistant, they're not going to be responsible to review bookings for data accuracy.
But that's no longer a requirement of this position.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Debbie, do you want to do a roll call, please? Oh, wait. Okay, yep, it was Matt and Steve. Sorry. Yes.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay. District 3, Chair Lundgren.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Walden.
I oppose.
District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
District 2, Commissioner Moore.
This is personnel.
Yes.
Oh, hi, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the Land Advisory Committee. Which one of you would like to take that one?
You want to start?
Yeah. Sorry. We had a meeting on, it was a fairly long meeting. I'll read through them all. We might do the whole group there too, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay. Greg presented a pollinator food plot and parking and he recommended the county board appropriate up to $5,325 from the land department, which is dedicated to the Parks and Recreation Fund for the remainder of the costs of the food plot and the parking area development in section 23 of New Dosey Township that are not covered by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association.
Madam Chair, just for clarity, is this the project that the two gentlemen spoke to on open forum?
Say it again.
Is this the project that the gentleman spoke to on open forum?
I think this is.
Kelly?
Yes, I believe this is the project.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody was able to link those two.
Yeah, this is a project where the DNR came in and did that chew up project and and that down timber. B, Crooked Lake Carry-In Boat Landing. Recommend the county board appropriate up to $11,000 from the land department. Dedicated parks and recreation fund for the gravel and widening of this township roadway and some light ditching and a culvert. The Rails to Trails extension, recommend the county board appropriate $7,000 from the land department, dedicated parks and for a trail feasibility study included in the Pine County portion of the proposed trail from Mora to Hinckley on the snowmobile trail. That can even count.
Okay.
Assist in that. Letter of support to the DNR, recommend the county board to consider providing a letter of support to the DNR for the Pheasants Forever purchase of the Formanek properties and subsequent donation of the property to the DNR. On that one, we will still receive payments, yeah. On E, that's the Holmes easement where we're seeing a parcel for sale in Danforth Township, and he has always had a road through the middle of the property to access a big hayfield that he has property on. So what he can access it another way, which he's agreed to do. So we're just gonna have him cross a corner of the bottom of 40. So it's gonna be like 150 feet by 150 feet. So the county sold him an easement there. So that's the resolution 2024-41. And that's offering the requested easement to Mr. Holmes for 150 by 150 foot area in the southeast corner of the northeast one quarter of the southeast one quarter of section 33, township 42, range 18 to access real property if executed by July 30th, 2024 by Mr. Holmes.
And that was the addition to our agenda was the quick claim fee for that.
Yep. And that's being done. So whoever purchases that property on the sale is going to know that that easement is in existence. So they'll know it's there when they purchase it.
Right.
Withdrawal of a tract from the land auction, we recommend the county board consider resolution 2024-39 to withdraw tract 2 property ID number 22.0330.00 from previously offered adjoining landowner auction. Conveyance, item G is conveyance to the city of Sandstone. Recommend the county board consider resolution 2024-40 to convey property ID number 45.5172.001 and property ID number 45.5460.000 to the city of Sandstone for inclusion in their vacant home restoration program for $1 each plus costs of transfer. Item H is Little Tramway Lake Boat Landing. Recommend the county board appropriate up to $2,500 for gravel from the land department dedicated parks and recreation fund to update the Little Tamarack Boat Landing. And that's a request from Wilma Township. It's just gonna, it's all washed out and stuff there. So they just want some gravel. They don't know how much, it might not take that much, but we just put it up to.
Right.
And that's it. And with that, I will move and all those items.
I'll second.
Right. So that was, we need to make a point of which resolutions those are.
Yeah, those are resolutions 2024-39-40-41.
Right. So we got a motion by Matt, second by Josh. Are there any questions?
I have questions, Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Gigi.
On part B for the Crooked Lake. And then also on the Pheasants Forever property, questions on also on the Holmes easement. I get questions on.
Can you start with the first one and then?
Well, I just want to get a matter of record in case we lose this. And then also part 7 on the land auction. So starting with Crooked Lake, it reads here in the minutes that it's granted or the zoning granted a conditional use permit on Crooked Lake. So it says it in the minutes.
They did.
It's,
They didn't the first time because they wanted the DNR approval. So the DNR came to the next month meeting. The hydrologist was there, the DNR guy. He said there is no wetland issue. What they're gonna do, SWCD said there's no wetland issue. The DNR weighed in, it's fine. Township people were at the same zoning board meeting and residents were also there.
so all I understand is a interim use permit was granted for Crooked Lake, is that correct? Not a conditional use, but an interim use,
Get that, Kelly?
two different things.
I am looking it up real quick.
Thank you.
That
Oh,
is
Mike, you're
correct.
there
It was,
too.
it was an interim use permit.
Instrument statute 462.3597. That is what
It
was
was
granted.
it was
for-
changed in the meeting, the course of the meeting to an interim use permit.
Okay. Just want to make it clear for the gentlemen that were here today. So there's an error in the minutes.
I will get that corrected.
Okay, I would think the zoning minutes would take precedence over this anyway, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the zoning minutes is the official action, and that was just for information only
Okay.
to the land committee.
And with this being deemed a non-wetland, that falls into the other point I wanted to bring up. Tamarack Lake then is there gonna fill some area there? Then who visited that? Was it a TEP visit? Why is that then different?
That's an existing boat landing. That just needs a couple loads of gravel.
Yes. And then on, I had the same question in relation to wetlands. Here on, part 4 of this, on the property for the DNR for, between the Ray and Joan Formanek, yeah,
That's a private parcel
okay.
that the DNR is gonna purchase from the family.
Yep, still subject to wetland,
Yep,
okay, so.
they're not, and that's why they're purchasing it. The DNR wants to preserve the wetland portion.
Okay, it says in here, the property has little to no development potential due to its swampy nature. So was that through the TEP? Or who made that determination that it's, again, that it's swampy, not developmental?
The DNR did, they're
DNR.
purchasing, they're gonna purchase the property.
Okay, and then, part 5 here with the Holmes property, I understand that is all surrounded. There are some neighbors there, and usually how I understand it, how it was explained to me, and there's some concern that when the county goes to sell part of that land, which they're selling an easement, 150 by 150 foot easement for $600, were the adjoining landowners notified of this, so they had an opportunity to purchase?
The adjoining landowner is purchasing it.
But there is a Kinney Creek Hunting Club and Rick Bowerboom.
So
There's
on,
no benefit with them, because it's crosses a corner above what they.
Well, benefit or not, I guess I'm just trying to be be consistent with the statute.
Go
if
ahead,
I can
Kelly.
jump in.
Yeah, please.
So this came forward from a request from the property owner. So I mean, any property owner can request an easement. However, I guess the important distinction here is that it's done as a non-inclusive exclusive easement. So really it doesn't limit it to just Paul either. There's an easement there now. Should this go forward?
Well, I guess without the other landowners knowing, yeah, I would not like to see it go forward. Also, if it's gonna be marketed in September, it said it was appraised, but I guess who appraised it? Was it an actual broker or appraiser that appraised it, or was it done in-house by the county appraised it?
Correct. Our assessor's office is who appraised it, but they are licensed Minnesota assessors and have a significant amount of education, very similar to a fee appraiser.
Okay, because anytime you you know, you can purchase a piece of land with no easement, it's significantly more valuable than a piece of land with an easement on it, and I just don't want to take away from value without, like I said, following what I understand is the statute to the adjacent adjoining. It is hurting land value. Brokers, realtors, or anyone else, I don't know if anybody's ever granted or sold easements on your own personal property, but it does take away from the value of it. And ultimately, if it's gonna be up on auction, I would think whether, you know, there's two choices, it can go to adjoining or it can go to the open public. I mean, is this just to accommodate one person over the other two before, I guess, it goes out to public auction? Is it gonna go to public auction or is it just gonna be offered to adjoining?
The property itself is out on public auction.
And so this owns what he needs before anybody else has a, correct? Yeah.
It takes care of his easement request, yes, ahead of the auction.
So, answer this one for me, please. If I purchase a piece of property and it's landlocked, I need to be able to get an easement or an access to that property, correct? So then this would actually take that over and then, excuse me, it wouldn't have to go further through the process because we're taking care of that in advance, correct? Or am I wrong?
No, you're correct, right? So this just makes it so that it doesn't have to be dealt with after the fact, you know, after the sale and things. And so, yes, I mean, even if we sold it as is, then this could end up to be a township issue with cartways and things. And so we're just taking care of it ahead of time because it is going to be an issue. He's got a significant amount of ag land that he wouldn't be able to legally get to.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, because from what I understand, he already purchased a 40 out there, which was, I guess how it was described to me, the county carved out a 40 for him from a 160 to accommodate him previously.
Well, that was offered on public auction, so anyone could have purchased it.
Right.
Right. I understand that. And then as of the 150 by 150 foot easement, I mean, Kelly, you mentioned cartway. There's also, you know, how big is a cartway usually?
Well, so a cartway would have to go out to a public road, so it is, I would have to pull up the distance that it is. It's quite a ways from a public road and they're usually 33 or 66 feet wide. So you'd be talking 33 or 66 feet wide by a half a mile or a mile. I have to find this one, to tell you how far it is over to the, it looks like it's a half a mile. So, you'd be talking, you know, at minimum 33 feet by 2640 to do a cartway.
So are the other adjoining properties, were they gonna have an opportunity to make some small purchases off of this also? Like if somebody wants to buy a cartway, or if somebody wants to buy another 150 foot by 150 foot, I mean, to me, it almost seems like I don't know much about this, but I got friends that do. It almost seems like a small subdivision in a way where you're just taking out a small piece.
Well, it's an easement only, so
Who else can just buy this before it goes to, just for strategy, I guess is what they're thinking if they want to.
They're not buying property, JJ, they're getting an easement.
Well, an easement gives them the property.
Madam
No.
Chair, and Kelly explained this earlier, but any landowner can request to purchase an easement from the county.
Yes.
And then at a sale, you usually notify by law the adjoining landowners also, correct? And that didn't happen.
Except the easements.
Except when it's an easement.
Not a sale.
Don't have to do it for an easement, I guess is what you're saying. Okay.
Did I, Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Steve.
did I understand correctly when I was looking through this? This is a non-exclusive easement?
Right.
Is that correct?
correct. Which means it's not only limited to Paul.
Yeah, that's, in my mind, that's what non-exclusive would mean.
So did somebody come to you and they were concerned that they would like an easement to something that they have also?
Yeah, just questioning the sale of an easement. I think it possibly tied to somebody wanting to buy other easements in the past to try to get in the property, and they're just trying to get their mind wrapped around what's going on here.
Okay, well, I would have them contact the land office to start working on the details of getting an easement to that then.
Yep. Sounds like they were there. Had some conversation already. That's it on this.
Just like make a couple comments. So part of, the one thing I wanted to just bring up, the Formanek property. They actually ran a deal, the DNR did, and we'll receive more in PILT payments than we will in taxes.
Yeah.
Currently what they're paying.
Right.
So that's actually a good thing. And, they're gonna look into these properties to make it that WMA. They kind of cornered together. There is a chunk of county property in there. Greg was gonna explore possibly selling, so they truly did connect, in there as well. And then, that rails to trail extension, that was, Caneva County approached us about doing a feasibility study because that rail line that comes from Caneva County, that we own some of it, and I don't know what the deal is there, but they're talking about maybe looking at putting a trail in there.
So, Madam Chair, Commissioner Moore, so there is that rail bed that from Brook Park west to the county line is owned by the Rail Authority. I'm looking at Kelly on the screen. I think that piece is owned by the Rail Authority, the Pine County Rail Authority. And then Kanabec County owns it when it is in Kanabec County, and they've been working for years to get that developed to a trail. And the idea is that it would connect to the Munger Trail in Hinckley. From Brook Park east to Hinckley is still the main active line. And so that's really not an option. And so this study would help develop alternative routes to get from, in essence, Brook Park on that corridor to the Munger Trail.
That'll be nice.
And then on G, that conveyance to the city of Sandstone. City has been working on doing a few of these. So they restore them, the properties, they're blighted property. And they get them up to sell them and do other stuff with them. So I think that's a really good thing too.
They do a really nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, all the notes, the Crooked Lake Carry-In boat landing. Greg had said that the township kind of was responsible for it. But we're just gonna kind of help them pay for some of the stuff. Some of the gravel, it's widen it a little bit and, some light ditching and stuff. So I don't know, it was a lot of information. It was
A lot. And that road is the boundary between Wilma and Danforth, so both townships are involved with sharing.
yeah. And I guess that's about all I have.
I'm sure.
Yep. Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, when Commissioner Moore, and just so everybody understands how I think I understand it. He mentions we're gonna get more money from PILT. PILT is payment in lieu of tax. That'll be what the DNR pays. Instead of what a private owner would be paying, private dollars coming in. He's accurate.
Currently, they are.
Yeah, currently. But we don't, when you have the DNR paying taxes, it's still the taxpayers' money. We're losing private land to a government entity. The government entity is going to be paying PILT, payment in lieu of tax, of taxpayer dollars.
This can be looked at in two ways though, JJ. We cannot tell a private owner that they cannot sell their land. That would just be a silly thing to do. And the fact that the DNR is going to purchase it and we're going to get PILT money for it is a blessing. So, I mean, you can look at it in two ways. Yes, it still is tax dollars, but we can't stop them from selling their land.
And they want the land to go to the DNR.
They want it to be used for natural resources and people to be able to utilize.
So that's what PILT is, payment in lieu of taxes paid by the government, and it'll never be in private ownership again. That's the only point I wanted to make. The blessing that it is.
So are you saying we should tell a private landowner they can't sell their property?
Oh,
Okay. We've all been instructed what PILT is. You don't agree with PILT? Is that what you're saying?
just explaining to the gentlemen that are here today what PILT is, and anyone else listening in. Payment in lieu of tax.
All right, do we have a motion for the Land Advisory Committee report?
I think.
So my,
Oh, we did. Okay, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, so my understanding is that the motion was only for resolutions 39 and 40 and 41. That's not correct.
Right.
Everything.
For everything, and then I just called out the resolutions to be sure everyone understood the resolutions were included in the motion.
Okay,
That was my understanding.
okay. So I didn't write it down. Debbie, can you tell me who made the motion and the second on that one, please?
Matt made the motion and it was seconded by Josh.
Josh, okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
at the beginning of, when I started that, I asked if we should do all as a group and so the minutes, do your minutes have that? You know, when we went over.
Yes, that the entire Matt meeting minutes will be. Motion was for the entire minutes. Yeah.
So are there any more questions or comments?
The interim use then would be corrected, right on,
Yes,
Item B.
Kelly said that she would be correcting that. Yep.
gotcha.
All right, Debbie.
District 4, Commissioner Waldman.
Opposed,
District 5, Commissioner Ludwig.
Aye.
District 1, Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
District 2, Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
District 3, Chair Lubgren.
Aye.
Thank you.
We are on the second quarter 2024 budget reports.
Madam Chair, members of the board, after the first half of the year, the county's budget is sound. I've got a few charts that are being projected. So this chart one just looks at the revenue and expenditures of each major fund through June 30th, and then the county overall. And you can see if you look overall that both revenues and expenditures are above the three major funds. That's because there's activity in some non-budgeted funds like health insurance. And then also the bond payments have an impact because the 100% of the principal and the first half interest are all paid in the first half of the year. So those make it look like we're above 50%, but it's exactly what we would expect. Chart 2 looks just at the general fund departments that generate revenue through June 30th. And everything is looking, as it should at this point in the year. Planning and zoning looks like it's high. There is some pass-through grant funding for the Kettle River One Watershed One plan that skews that high. But it is exactly what we would expect at this point. Chart 3 looks at the general fund expenditures. You look at this and you think the recorder's office is off the chart. That's really driven by the contracts they pay early in the year. And then also, there's some capital expenditures for software that are out of the tax and CAMA fund that show up in this report that are not budgeted. But despite the graph, they're doing fine. And then the last graph just looks at health and human services. And halfway through the year, everything there is looking really positive.
Thank you, Dave. And then we all received the summary and conclusion regarding the county administrator's performance review. Are there any questions on that? Oh, what?
You need to put that in the record.
Oh, I need to put that in record. Okay, I buried it. Well, we met with Dave and I did bury it. Sorry, everybody. So the annual performance review of the county administrator, Dave Minke, was completed during the closed session at the July 2nd, 2024 county board meeting. Minnesota statute 13D.05 subdivision 3A states that at the next open meeting, the county board is to summarize in conclusion regarding this evaluation. The county board reviewed his performance against the essential functions of the position, including assisting the county board, supervises department heads, serves as chief budget officer, manages day-to-day county functions, and leads labor negotiations and contract management. Administrator Dave Minke received an excellent rating by the county board, which I would just like to emphasize once again that he does an amazing job for Pine County, and that I am very glad that we had the opportunity to work with him. Does anybody else have any comments on this? No? Right. We don't need to make a motion yet. Right. Okay, so we are on commissioner updates. So we've got East Central Solid Waste Commission.
Yes, we met the other day. Work will begin on the new cell. They've actually been doing some excavating there over the winter, but the actual cell work will begin probably in August. We need to be aware that the Pollution Control Agency has lowered the standards for the amount of the forever chemical. We've read in the paper about PFAS, and they've lowered that to 0.004 parts per million from I don't know, 4 parts per million, let's say. So the threshold has changed. They have tested some neighboring wells. They have found some that chemical in their wells. So those neighbors were offered water, drinking water. I'm not convinced that the landfill is 100% responsible for those chemicals in that water because of some other activities that have taken place in that neighborhood. But nevertheless, that's the law we have to live by. And so that is a concern that we're dealing with. More testing is going on as they look and see where the flow of water might be in the aquifer. With the amount of rain that we had in April, May, and June, of course, it adds a lot of water into the landfill, which leaks out in the form of leachate, which means that we can't land apply that much leachate. So we have to haul it to Pig's Eye. We have a guy on staff that takes a truck every day, makes, I talk to Scotty every once in a while, he makes 3 trips twice a day, 2 trips 2 or 3 times a day. And so we did authorize probably a private company to come in and supplement some hauling to get caught up if we should get behind again. And that's about it. Questions? Yep.
Yes. So when they change that standard of the forever chemicals,
Yep.
is that gonna affect when you build your next site there? You know, your next.
No, because what if it is indeed coming from the landfill, it's probably, my question was how does it get out of a lined landfill? The history of that landfill goes back, more than a half a century. And so the very beginnings of that landfill, it was online. It was not part of East Central Solid Waste Commission. And so there was a portion, and it's possible that's where it came from. We don't know yet until they do further testing.
Okay, thanks.
Yep,
Steve, do you know Trista Martin from Ramsey County?
I know the name.
Okay, well, she just resigned as a commissioner and she took the job as working with the solid waste management for Washington and Ramsey. She would
Okay,
be she's got some amazing thoughts and processes on how to, because there's just so much garbage, how to manage that better. She
Right.
would be a really good resource for you guys and she's more than willing to talk garbage with anybody.
thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have an engineering firm that works with several landfills around the state of Minnesota and the Midwest.
Okay.
So we're not trying to figure this out by ourselves.
Right.
We rely extensively on their expertise.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
East Central Regional Library, we had a budget meeting. And so one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting, and this is going to be revised a little bit, we went down, but they did a per capita. So for each person that we have in Pine County, we're paying $13.23. Which really, if you think we've got over 50% of our residents in Pine County that have library cards, that's really not that much money. But it is being revised a little bit more and it'll be coming down. And once we get the final numbers at our next board meeting, we'll be bringing that and presenting that to the board for our budget process. So I gave Dave the preliminary so that they can start working on it, but that's what we had worked on. Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe, it was very good to be there, to be able to celebrate Melanie's retirement and be there for the swearing in for Virgil Wind. David and Becky and myself were there, which was very good. I have a meeting, I believe next week where I'm going to be getting together with Harry Davis, who is the District 1 or District 3. I keep thinking we're number 1, District 3 representative, and just to see how we can start working better together. And so that was good. It was a good meeting. It was good to be present at. Soil and Water.
Yeah. And maybe is Mike Gaynor, are you still online here, Mike?
I certainly am.
Yeah, business as usual, pretty much at Soil and Water, except I brought forward again just an idea to try to coordinate better between the Soil and Water, us at the county, and some landowners up in Surgeon Lake for the water issue. I know we had granted given money towards the water level project for a study, and I've been working with Mark LeBrun and Thunderson with the road right away. There's an outlet on the lake. We've been discussing that Soil and Water a few times. That a landowner on the lake already worked with everybody involved, DNR, county, to get it cleared out, and then it hits the road, and then on the other side of the road, there's a 7-acre parcel. And I don't know, Mike, if you could just write the parcel ID down.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3306-09000. I guess we're just trying to see if we could take the bull by the horns here, so to speak, and get everybody involved to sit down at the table. It sounds there's just something going on between the township possibly and that parcel owner. If there could just be some excavation, some digging to increase that water flow, it would certainly help with everything that the Soil and Water and DNR and everybody's been trying to work together on for the erosion issues and the shoreland issues on that lake. It's exiting right to the county highway. It's going under the highway, and then it's hitting the landowner. And it sounds like there's something that can be worked out between all of us, some sort of understanding. I don't know. We're just talking about purchasing easements here earlier. Maybe the county could even purchase an easement or something, working with the DNR and Soil and Water, an easement to get water moving to help exit the lake a little better. So anyway, that was a big thing we talked about.
Does that flow pretty good there?
Right up to the point where it goes under the highway and hits this parcel. I mean, it'd be like putting a sponge over the end of a straw. Yes, water will still go through there, but it's slowing down with all the vegetation.
Is it because of elevation or swamp?
It's growing in.
Obstruction.
Yeah, I mean, I've known it my entire lifetime from, fishing there as a little kid, pedaling by. It's just, if things grow in when they're not maintained, you know, we all know that with any kind of ditching or anything else. It's just grown in. And I'm hopeful that if everybody could sit down, you know, between the company, like owner, Whittier and the DNR and Bowser and a whole list of them. Maybe we can get something going on, because like I said, we've already invested in this. And, you know, we pay the taxpayer, we pay a portion of to restore the shoreline and to do riprap and to fix this stuff. And if we're not looking ahead and taking care of this, we're just kind of spinning our wheels. We're just going to continue to have this high water issue. And it just, from the locals that I talked to there, the farmers, people, they just think it's worth a try. And it is, like I said, just everybody recalls water flowing nicely through there, but it's just vegetation has grown up. So that's the parcel anyway. Mike, and please, if you could follow up with me after, and I would certainly like to be present also. That's
Sure.
all I have for soil and water.
Kettle River.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had our meeting on July 11th. So we approved the following three things. Kettle River Upper St. Croix policy bylaws. We approved what was there with our changes and then per review of county attorney and stuff like that. So we gave it we were satisfied with what it was, but wanted attorney reviews too, but we moved it. We did the same with the master draft template for work that's gonna happen and the statement of work draft for individuals. So we passed all those out with what we thought was right for approval of Reese, who would look at the bylaws and stuff like that, and which I think he has. And some other departments might have a tweak, so we want to keep things moving. So it's gonna come back to us for a final. We did move it because it's pretty self-explanatory. So that was pretty much the crux of the whole meeting, was to get stuff moving.
Extension Committee.
No commissioners were able to attend. I did go. Their major discussion was the budget, which I think everyone knows that their budget request will be up substantially due to the new MOA. And the Extension Committee did meet at Medicine Creek Farms, which is the Farm Family of the Year.
Okay, thank you. Chemical Health Coalition. One of the things that we did was we purchased some DTerra bags, which are, if you have medication in your home, you can put them in those bags, and they've got charcoal in them, and then you just add a little bit of water and it takes care of them. And I ended up at the NACO conference. They did a big presentation on it, and we found out that they have grants available and they would give a NACO discount. So Becky and I are going to be getting together to figure out how we can get some money back, or if we can get some more so that we can actually send it out to homeowners.
We've been purchasing those for a long time.
Right. And I think we purchased some once before, and then we just purchased some more to have on hand because it's such a good source. What they do suggest is that you send them out to every home, and then that way people can, because we all have stuff in our houses.
Oh, yeah.
So we can take care of it and get it out of the path for children. So, but it was interesting that I didn't realize they've gotten, it was either 3 or 5 awards for being environmentally friendly. They've got the bags that are made out of, I've got it in these notes over here, but just the things that they've done to make sure that, they said at first you were throwing plastic in the garbage can, and so they fixed it. Oh, it's made out of sugar cane. So now the bags are made out of sugar cane, and the things that they've done to make it so that it's, yeah. But so we're going to be working together to see what we can get done on that. Central Minnesota Jobs and Training. Did anybody go?
No.
Who's on that one? I am?
CMJTS.
Oh, CMJTS.
Yeah, you were.
We're meeting, we didn't meet. That would be me. Okay, thank you. No, we did not have a meeting. We changed our schedule because we were meeting so much and they had one employee that's pretty much all that they did was to get ready for these meetings and she retired and it was relooked at. So we're going to be meeting less. And our next meeting is going to be when we go to Duluth for the conference in August. The NACO annual conference was crazy busy. I did the presentation to get the PILT money for trust land that's put into the tribal trust land. And the good news and the bad news is that it was tabled. They said that, you've got a lot of people that depend on their PILT money out west. And they didn't want any money to be taken from them. And it was made very clear that we don't want any money to be changed for the PILT calculations to come to this. We want it to be new money. It needs to be new money. It can't be transferring money. The one thing they asked was, how was that going to be calculated? And I said, I didn't know, but that's the good thing about being new is that we could do it together. And what ended up happening was a guy from Washington State said, we need to keep this moving forward and I will work with you to rewrite it and we will take it to the legislative conference in March. So in March, we will have it rewritten and we will be going to the legislative conference to present it there and see what we can get going. And we have worked with I've talked with Pete Stauber's office and they're willing to work with us. We've talked to Max Band and they're willing to work with us on it also to see if we can get that taken care of. So other than that, there was a lot of things that happened at the NACO conference, but that was the main reason that I had gone out there was to see if we could get that done. Lakes and Pines.
Yes, we met yesterday, matter of fact. Things are moving along. We've got some new people on board over there because of I think we've lost some really good talented people, probably because our pay schedule doesn't compete well with the surrounding communities. And so people that get really good at their job move on, which is unfortunate. So we'll keep plugging away and trying to adjust our salary schedule, but we have to every time we give somebody a raise, it has to come out of the program money because we do not have we don't bolster that up with tax levy dollars, local tax levy dollars. It's all grant funded. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. District Court Security Committee.
Yeah, we had a meeting on July 10th. The main crux of the meeting was the security at the courthouse, of course, that. But the single point entry ate up a lot of our time. And it's expensive when you bake it all down. And you've heard me say before, like when I was going to meetings in Stearns and other counties, that every government building had deputies staffed at metal detectors. Well, my last meeting, I went to over there, those were gone in Wade Park. So at the license center and the HHS department, they're no longer. So they must have pared down to, I didn't go to their courthouse, but that was just all government. So they're no longer staffing, but doesn't mean it, but it does mean it's expensive even for a big city and a big towns. So the numbers is what we're looking at. So everybody involved knows that there could be an issue with security in the courthouse. So right now we run security through the metal detector whenever there's court cases in session and stuff like that. Other than that, it's the public walks in and out of the building from 7 in the morning or when they open the doors, 7:30 till they lock them at night. So there's always a constant what if or what could happen. And we've always just balanced that with the public needs to have the freedom to come in and it's their building, and so it really, if you bake it all down, it's how much do you want to spend? We can't afford to spend a lot. We don't have enough money to spend on it. So we do our model as kind of a hybrid. When court's in session, we make sure that stuff's happening. Other than that, I don't know. I know at one time they were having a walk through at the end of the day with some of the staff and just checking for, if somebody stuffed a backpack somewhere or something like that. But I don't know if that's still happening. But we're not done. So we're looking at having the people look at models or what we could do or what we could change to maybe make it better without spending a lot of money. So that's a work in progress. We're gonna have a meeting in a couple of months and there's gonna be some emails going back and forth with ideas and stuff like that. So more to come on that. And then there was some discussion on active shooter training, which I think Jeff has handled, his department has handled that training in the past there. And that's probably something that I think Jeff says they can freshen everybody's memory on at some point. I don't know how they get it in the schedule, but look, what just happened this weekend, things happen. So at least we're thinking about it. Where we end up, I don't know. And David, yes, jump in. You were.
So, Madam Chair, Commissioner Ludwig, there was a consensus on the committee that we were going to explore, there's state grants available to update some of our screening equipment. And so that is in the works.
And could you touch on the grant? Because I forgot about that too. There is a grant that will kind of.
The state legislature appropriated some funds for a grant. I don't know the total offhand, but my thought when I saw the total is that's not a lot of money for statewide.
Right.
But we are going to look to apply to that program, which it has a pretty quick application deadline.
August 26th or something. Like
Yeah, but use that to update some of our screening equipment. And one of the state grant program administrator was in our call, and their thought was that was a good request, that would be a good request.
And the equipment that we do have, she said, she even agreed with, was some of the best stuff out there, the stuff we're using.
Cool.
So that's good news too. So it's good equipment, but.
It happens everywhere. When I went to fly out to go to NACO, they shut down the international airport in Minneapolis and we couldn't get into park. We couldn't, the freeway was jammed because they stopped everybody from pulling in. They routed you on roads that didn't take you to the airport. It was pretty interesting. And it was somebody left their bag unattended and one of the security dogs went crazy. So, it's everywhere. It was an interesting.
And I think, if I remember correctly, it was a 50% match grant too. So, but
that would be great.
We have to contribute 50%.
Still, 50% is better than a full, right?
Yeah, well, let's see what the number is.
Yeah. Are there any others?
Yes, I have another.
Okay.
Minnesota Department of Commerce or Commerce Department is going to have a meeting right here on July 24th. The meeting starts at 5, but there's like an hour of asking questions and just meeting people and getting up to speed. And the regular meeting goes from 6 to 8. And it's the state doing the public information and environmental scoping on the Ironton solar project up on Ray Blands.
Oh, okay.
Which the company has reported to us before in a meeting that it could mean if this goes through, the county gets like $600,000 a year with that project on site. That's helpful. And agreement is just between the landowner and the solar company. So it's not, he owns all the land. So anyway, more to come. But it's open to the public. So if you want to come as a commissioner, I'm going to try to be there. And I know JJ, I talked to him, he's going to be there too. It's his district, but it's a pretty good group. They seem pretty organized. We've met with them several times. Yeah.
Good. I did Connect Minnesota. It was counties and schools. And what they were looking at was broadband in the schools and then how it's working in the counties. And it was interesting to see how many people are still dealing without broadband, but how much further it's actually come. So one of the people on there did a shout out to Pine County for working hard and still working hard to get our broadband, but knowing that it's difficult. And so I don't know if that's a good thing to be put on the map for or not, but it was one of the things that they were really talking about is how to get seniors to how to get them PCs and how to understand how to use them, still bringing up to have high school kids go in and work at the senior citizen centers to teach them how to use broadband because of telehealth and all of that, but we still have to get the broadband for that to work, so keep moving forward. Are there any others? All right, well, if not, we've got upcoming meetings. If you can't make it, give your Alta call and we will see what we can get done.